Hi. So many people have a fear of needles. And doctors estimate that maybe as much as 10 to 20% of the people out there actually have a fear of needles. Sometimes that fear keeps them from going to the doctor. And that's not what we want. So if you've got a fear of needles, I created some work to help you with it. And at the end of this, I'll even give you a technique that you can use to help yourself while you're actually there in the doctor's office or in the hospital so that you can calm your energy down. Now, before we get started, I have some things for you. When you click show more below this video, the first thing is my disclaimer. It's at the very bottom. If you continue to go ahead and do this work and tap with me, it means you've read and agreed to it. Then I have an invitation to my private Facebook group. In that group, you have access to over 60 hours of live replays. And I work on a regular basis in the group and take live requests. So your invitation is there. Just be sure you answer the group questions in order to go ahead and join. I also have a free gift for you, and that's below there. Something that will help you see for yourself what's actually underneath your pain or issue, whatever it is. It's something you'll like. So that's down there too. All right, so fear of needles. First, I want you to close your eyes and take a breath. And I want you to think about needles, shots, injections, jabs. And just feel that fear and anxiety in your body. And just identify where it is. You may feel it in your chest, your stomach, your head. Just keep breathing. Know that you're safe in the moment. And just appreciate where that is and how intense it is. Now, I want you to give that anxiety, that fear of needles, a number between 0 and 10, with 10 being overwhelming fear and 0 being none. And most of you will fall somewhere on that scale. If you're doing this video, you're probably a 7 or higher. Okay, good. Okay, now just remember your number and let's take a big breath in through your nose and hold it and blow it out and open your eyes. All right, now let's tap. If you're new to tapping, to EFT, just tap along with me, tap where I tap, and you do need to speak out loud. Just repeat after me. So here we go. I am terrified of needles, but I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I'm really afraid of needles. They freak me out. I completely love and accept myself. Even though I am terrified of needles. I always have been. I'm open to the possibility that maybe I can let go of this fear. Because I do completely love and accept myself. Okay, top of the head. Oh, this fear of needles. Oh, I'm terrified of them. It scares me to even think about it. I don't even have to see a needle to be afraid of them. I wonder if it's possible that I could let go of some of this fear. I wonder if it's possible that I could relax. It feels awful to be afraid of needles. It's unpleasant. It may be keeping me from doing things. Allow myself to begin to let go of some of this anxiety. It's safe to let it go. all this fear. I allow myself to begin to relax and to know that it's safe for me to be around needles. I allow myself to feel safe. I give myself permission to let go of this fear of needles. I give myself permission to let go of all this anxiety. It isn't helping me. There may be some situations where I need an injection or to have my blood drawn. These can be really important health things for me. So now I choose to let go of this fear of needles. I allow myself to know that I'm safe in my body and in the world. And it's safe for me to let go of this fear. It doesn't serve me anymore. I allow myself to feel calm. I allow myself to feel peace. I allow myself to be confident that I don't need to be afraid because I'm safe and I profoundly love and accept myself. Peace. Okay. Now I want you to close your eyes for a moment and check in and see if your number is lower. You may need to come back and do this part of the video again. Okay, good. Now we're going to move into the next part, which is specifically for needles that are an IV, intravenous, because a friend I was talking with the other day, she's not really upset over getting a shot, but having a needle, an IV needle in her arm that stays in for a while, that freaks her out. So let's work with that a little bit. I'm really freaked out over having an IV. I'm so afraid of it. But I choose to be okay anyway. Even though I am terrified of having an IV needle in my arm. I allow myself to relax because I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to letting go of this fear now. I give myself permission to remember that I may need an IV to save my life. And important things may need to be put in there, like fluid and medicines, things that could really help me. It doesn't serve me to hold on to this fear of needles. I allow myself to begin to relax and to let go of this fear. It's safe to let it go. There are a whole lot of other things out there in the world that I can be afraid of. Needles doesn't have to be one of them. I give myself permission to relax now. To let go of all this anxiety and fear around IVs and needles. It's safe to let it go because I'm safe I completely love and accept myself. Peace. Okay. Now that should be, you check in again and see where your fear and anxiety level is. That should have helped. You may need to come back and do this one more than once. Nothing wrong with that. Use all the tools at your disposal. Now, when you're actually in the hospital or in the doctor's office or in the lab and are going to have a needle-related thing, I want to give you something that you can do in the moment to calm yourself, because you're not probably going to be able to go through and actually really tap. So what I want you to do is just tap your middle finger against your thumb. Now, if you can, you could also just tap your collarbone points. You know, whichever arm or hand they're working with, obviously you're going to need to keep that one still. And probably tapping like this is going to make you move too much, if they're especially if they're trying to hit a vein. So I'm recommending just do this. You can do this without moving yourself. And you can just take some breaths. You don't even have to talk if you're uncomfortable with that. And just say to yourself, I choose to remember that I am safe. Allow myself to relax. Take a breath. And keep breathing. Okay, now that technique, that will help you in the moment, I think a whole lot. And then, you know, if you're in a situation where you can really tap through the points, that's great. If not, just do this and breathe. And I think you're going to feel a lot better. So if you're enjoying my work, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. It's a good thing. And I'd love to have more subscribers. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So thank you for doing this work with me. I appreciate you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Mwah.